The theme of this year's American Sociological Association meetings is interrogating inequality, which highlights the importance of inequality, its mechanisms, and so on. What is the current state of inequality research in South Korea?
Yeah, of course, the most important inequality research is on class inequality. The gap between the richer and the poor has been grown, especially after 1997 Asian financial crisis. Mm-hmm. And also there is a gender inequality, which are, which represent a double discrimination in many aspects. And also aging issue is very important in Korea. So especially the female old women, female older persons have been in most difficulty in terms of economy and social isolation. We have a very serious problem of foreign migrant workers and migrant marriage women. Mm-hmm. They are discriminated and they are very poor in Korea. So all those issues are very important inequality issue in Korea.
So one thing I want to add is about health inequality, the research on health inequality. There have been a lot of scholars, young scholars who are trained in the United States. They came back to Korea and working on the field of the sociology of health, trying to examine the health inequality between especially the upper class and lower class, socioeconomic status disparity, as well as racial ethnic disparity. I think that's becoming a top issue in terms of research in sociology.
Well, I think gender and race are both very important issues that have been researched in Brazil right now, and specifically race. And race is, I think, it has to do with our history of slavery. So I think that these two issues are growing up in the interest of Brazilian sociologists. Also, politics and democracy now is getting its importance. Some people calling for more participation, for more participatory democracy. I think in this way, social movements are getting important issues for this kind of research. Also, the other themes like class, which had been a kind of under the discussion in some moments. Maybe it had to do something with this rising of more micro-sociological themes. Class analysis had been a kind of I wouldn't say out of the debate, but got little debate. But I think now it's growing up, the interest in class analysis, for instance.
Development of inequality is under political and also on public observation. And in September there will be elections in Germany, right. And the issue of rising inequality and is there a price of inequality is a hot issue of all the parties. And so social justice and rising inequality within Germany, but also of course within Europe, is a hot issue. And there are dark sides also of rising inequality. In the past, rising inequality was just a matter of, well, it's the price of rising GDP, then inequality comes together. But it's all for everybody. But the new theme, I think, is if we observe that rising inequality comes together with lowering mobility, lowering mobility and lower chances for getting up into the status of wealth and income and jobs, then I think also the German consensus comes in real trouble. And there are also at that conference, I think, rich contributions to find out more on the mechanisms within the family, within different talents, within different countries and welfare states to disentangle the different mechanisms that are driven by just the economy, just the family surroundings and culture, and of course the policy issues to help families to get mobile and to get an increase in their careers.
It is actually obviously very important, and it is an area of research that is currently in transition. So it is a very interesting time for you to ask me this question. There are many social transitions that are happening in the economy, but mostly neoliberal trends, and these are reflected in new trends in research. So we have now more research on unionization, on decline in unionization and new forms of labor organizations and how they affect pay, and not only pay but also fringe benefits, job loss risks, even health risks. And these things were not on the agenda of Israeli sociology when 85% of the workers were unionized in one big labor union. So these things are part of the decline in unionization and are affecting the research agenda. Another change or expansion of the research on inequality in Israel is the increased focus on the identity groups. So we're not talking only about class, but also obviously about women, but also ethnic groups. So we have the Mizrahi Jews versus Ashkenazi, but now there is also more interest in Russians, not enough in Ethiopians, and then increasing research on religious, Orthodox religious Jews, men and women separately. So in the US, intersectionality is something that researchers need to call attention to. In Israel, it comes naturally to talk about religious women and men, and of course the national minorities, so the Palestinian men again and women separately.